questions are the answers. Most of the time when we have a question, we already have the answers. Should I go? Should I stay? Should I take this job? Should I not take this job? And it's good to ask other people that are trusted and have that trusted advisor, someone you could go to ask these types of when you're not sure. And the brain, you mentioned the reticular activation system, the RAS, and your brain is designed to answer questions. Have you ever tried to think of a name? Oh, what's his name? And you couldn't think about it, and then in the middle of the night or you wake up the next day and you got that name? Well, that's because your brain has been working on that whole time, trying to recall that name or that thing. The reasons why questions are so important is because it allows us to expand our brain. It allows our brain to search for answers that we may not have thought of before. And that's why asking questions are so important. And also how you ask questions. I'm a mom of 3 wonderful children. I'm quite biased. And my son, he would come home from school and it was almost like an inquisition. It's like, so how was school? Fine. Did you learn? No. How was lunch? Good. And I would ask these types of questions to him, and I would get these really one answer responses. So when you're asking someone a question, ask yourself, can they answer this question in one word? Or is it open-ended? What I learned to say to him was, especially if he had a bad day, I'd say something like, it appears that you have a bad day. When you're ready to talk about it, let me know. And now all of a sudden I have lowered all of his defenses and he just starts rattling things off. And by asking the right questions in the right way, you can lower someone's defense. Especially, this is a very good technique to use when you're doing sales. How does this sound to you? Can you see this is a good idea for you? And you start using languaging that their brain accepts. I know we touched on auditory. If it's an auditory person, that's how they learn, or if it's a visual. So you can start using their language when you're asking the question in sales as well. If you're asking a question, let it be open-ended and just be quiet. Listen to hear and don't listen with your next response. We have to learn to listen to the answers to the questions we ask, and especially to ourselves. When we start listening to the answers to the questions we ask ourselves, we find that we had the answer within us the whole time.